mean, to do the superstars for the first time, I mean, somehow we got this fabulous lineup. People said, you will never get these people to do all these events. We had this enormous lineup of talent. We thought, will they take it seriously? Take it seriously. You'd think they were all in a World Cup final. It was an incredible lineup, and they all just fought their butts off to beat everybody. It was probably summed up many years later by Bernard Roussy, the Olympic skier, who won the 100 metres. And it took me back to the very first programme, where Roussy won the 100 metres in the superstars. And I went down with a mic and said, Bernard, you've won the 100 metres. And he was jumping up and down, throwing his hands in the air. And he said, it's the greatest moment of my life. I said, don't be so stupid. I said, you've won the Olympic Games, you've won the World Championships. Why is this the greatest moment in your life? Look at the people I've beaten in 100 metres, he said. I could never beat them on a ski slope. This is wonderful. And that's what they wanted to do. It turned sports stars into, not quite entertainers, became desperately serious, but they wanted to take on the best in another sport and beat them.
This is David Hemery, Olympic gold medalist, athlete extraordinary, and sporting superstar. The man who excited millions when he took the superstar title at the Crystal Palace in London. David Hemery now defends that title and lined up to challenge him for the £4,000 first prize from boxing, the light heavyweight champion of the world, John Conteh.
Anything I go in for, I go in to win, you know. I know it's a bit of fun and everything, you know, and the money involved, but it's a competition nevertheless, and I just got to win, just like all the other lads there in here to win. That's why.
England's #1 soccer striker, Mike Channon.
I fancy do quite well on the track events. The gymnasium, not so good probably. The rowing and the swimming are a bit dodgy, but the others I'd hope to do reasonably well.
Also from soccer, one of the world's greatest midfield players, Colin Bell.
I'm a little bit worried about the competition because I've dropped out of the swimming, but one of the events is rowing, and the reason I dropped out of the swimming is I can't swim, so I'm a bit concerned about the rowing.
The British and European welterweight boxing champion, John H. Stracey.
But I treat it like the Olympic motto, you know, it's not to win, but to compete, which I thoroughly enjoy, you know.
Record-breaking round-the-world yachtsman, Chay Blyth.
It's not sad for me because I'd have much preferred to have seen all these chaps have a go at sailing, so I could have had a laugh.
England's all-round test cricketing star, Tony Greig.
A bit worried about the gym hall and perhaps the track events. I think it doesn't really fit in as cricket, I don't think.
And the man they're all out to beat, the reigning Superstars champion, David Hemery.
I think that probably John Conteh and Colin Bell are the two, I would say, who will be the fittest and the strongest overall.
Together, they make the Sporting Superstars. Well, ahead of them lies the grueling challenge of 8 sports, the 8 they've chosen from the official list of 10. They'll compete on the track, in the arena, in the swimming pool, in the gymnasium, and even out on the River Thames. The sports, well, they are cricket, soccer, weightlifting, gymnastics, rowing, cycling, shooting, swimming, the steeplechase, and the 100 metres. They get points for every sport they take part in, and when they've added it all up at the end of the competition, the man with the most points is the champion. For 4th place, there's a prize of £1,000. For 3rd place, £1,500. Runner-up gets £2,500. And the sporting superstar himself, £4,000 and the Wilkinson Sword Trophy. Well, every one of our competitors has proved himself supreme in his own sport. But now here at the National Sports Centre in Crystal Palace, they're going to pit their skills and their very many talents against each other to find the great all-round sportsman, the superstar. And we're going to start it all right down here on the track, the 100-metre sprint, and the commentator on the race, Ron Pickering.
5 men ready for this 100-metre sprint, and reading from right to left, it's John Conteh, Tony Greig, Mike Channon, Colin Bell and John H. Stracey. Going through them, 2 football sprinters who we know. There's John H. Stracey, far left, British and European welterweight champion. Colin Bell, Manchester City captain. Mike Channon, their hands on hips, the flyer from Southampton. Very tall, 6'7.5". Tony Greig from Sussex and England, born in South Africa. And superstar in his own right, British, European and Commonwealth light heavyweight champion, far right, John Conteh. John H. Stracey admits to finding this a new skill. And away they go, and my goodness, Colin Bell was in all sorts of trouble, and it's Channon, the England striker, that's going well. John Conteh in second, Colin Bell is chasing him. It's going to be Channon all the way, and it's an easy one for Mike Channon. John Conteh gets second, Colin Bell third, Tony Greig fourth, and it was John H. Stracey run out of it, and Channon had no trouble there. But in fairness, it must be said that Colin Bell fell very badly at the start and could never make up the ground, although he looked as though he was closing the gap. Mike Channon then won.
Hard work, isn't it?
Belly was coming up a bit quick behind you, wasn't he, Colin Bell?
He stumbled. He'd been very tight otherwise.
Yeah, he was obviously the big threat too. I know you're out to settle a battle. Who's the fastest man in football? Do you think this is going to settle it?
Well, I don't know. He stumbled early on.
Yeah.
I saw him stumble. I knew he wouldn't get at me then.
What about John Conteh? He wasn't far behind.
No, he wasn't, was he?
Yeah.
Didn't really see him.
Well, that's one in the bag, Mike.
Yeah, just right. Needed it.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
And you'll be the first to congratulate Mike Channon on that, but Colin did fall and stumble very badly. All these fellas kitted out with spikes for the day, but some of them do most of their running in their natural gear. That's football shoes, football boots for Colin Bell, and he slipped badly, couldn't make up the gap, and they were surprised by the speed and the all-round fitness of John Conteh, but the sort of speed that we're used to from Mike Channon, good enough to win this opening event. And it was a really clean pair of heels that he showed the rest of these boys.
And so, footballer Mike Channon leads the superstars with the first 10-point victory. Conteh, Bell, Greig and Stracey are behind him.
Well, you can see where we are. We're in the Grunt and Groan Emporium to sort the men from the boys on the iron game, weightlifting, where, again, as last year, we will use a barbell, and it will be one lift, the clean and jerk, maximum poundage on a rising bar, so the small men go first, but they can go up to maximum just to see how much they can lift overhead. Well, this means the rising bar for John Stracey means 143.25 pounds, 65 kilograms, and the bar really is going up now. Clean is good. Now, can he jerk it? Almost, but not quite. That's where he'll leave the competition at 65 kilograms. Now David Hemery comes in the competition. This is his first event because no athlete is allowed in his own speciality event, and so he was denied a place in the 100 metres. Now the weightlifting, at which he excelled last year. 165.25 pounds, 75 kilograms, over body weight, and it launches up very quickly, lots of snap. David saying he wasn't feeling so good earlier, but he's coming back into his own now. But he competes against this man, and they've already stamped their competitive edge on this competition. John Conteh, straight back lifting, snaps and splits under the bar. He's been doing his homework as Master John. There it is, going up in good Olympic form. 75 kilograms.
Good lift.
And he has to stay ahead of David Hemery on poundage because this O'Carroll formula means that because John Conteh is heavier than David Hemery, he must stay ahead. So here's David, 82.5 kilograms, 181.75 pounds, and that flies up too.
Good lift.
The competition coming alight now. The counter-attack by John Conteh, 85 kilograms, 187.25 pounds. There's the snap underneath. This 2 or 3 weeks training that he's been doing. And up it goes. He's satisfied Oscar State, surely. Good lift, 187.25 pounds. Now the lean, wiry man needs all his Olympic temperament to come to his aid now at 192.75 pounds. David Hemery. There it is.
Take it.
That's superb lifting, and he's delighted with it. He'll be watching John Conteh now. Really, this man has done so well. 2 or 3 weeks training to be handling a barbell of 90 kilograms, 198¼ pounds, is some lifting. The clean is good. And he's going to be there. It's the confidence with which he snaps the bar up that gets him there. Conteh looking so good.
Good move.
Now, what sort of poundage will David Hemery have? 203¾ If he can stay ahead, he's got to stay ahead to make certain. It means that he pushes John Conteh into even heavier poundages. So 92½ kilograms. The clean is good. Oh, not there, not there. And that is a problem. Has he reached his sticking point? Does this mean a breakthrough for John? David Hemery has to attempt 92½ kilograms again. 203¾ pounds. They're reaching weightlifters' respectable poundages. Again, the clean is good. Oh, so
Hard
near.
luck. Let him have another go.
Oscar State says let him have another go. But it's tough. Oh, it's not going to be. So out goes David Hemery.
John Conteh, 6th attempt, 95 kilos, 209¼ pounds. If he makes this, he will win.
Indeed, if he makes it, he will win. He's taken those 5 kilograms, just 10 pounds ahead. That's the difference in his body weight over Hemery. If he can make this, he'll get enormously valuable points. And to beat Hemery at this game will be superb. There it is. It's there. Conteh holds it aloft. The elbows are locked. Oscar State is happy. And Conteh wins the competition. And the first to congratulate him will be David Hemery.
So it's the strength and a fair measure of technique gives John Conteh the 10 points, and Hemery has to settle for 7. And that result puts Conteh up at the top, ahead of Mike Channon and Hemery. But Conteh, remember, has already used 2 of the 8 events he's allowed to choose. Channon and Hemery only 1. So the next event for the superstars, the pistol shooting. Each man has 20 shots. They get 11 points for each hit or kill, and 3 bonus points for each shot they don't use out of the 20. And some of them are already having a little spot of trouble. Chay, Blyth.
Is it 1 hand or 2 hands?
1. But Tony Greig is setting the pace. 2 shots fired, 1 disc on. And now 2. 4th shot now. 4 shots, 3 kills. Great shooting by Tony Greig. Here's his 5th. Has he got it? If it's chipped it, it counts. Yes, it does count. 5 shots, 4 kills, 44 points. 6 shot now, 1 disc to break. No, he's missed it. Not this time. Colin Bell now on his 6th shot, but still to score. And he could have chipped it. Yes, he has. Colin Bell off the mark. So on to David Hemery. 2 shots left, 1 disc to break. And that's it.
David Hemery, 5 kills, 55, 1 shot left, 3 gives a total of 58 score.
That already beats the 2 who've already shot. John Stracey, 22 points, and Mike Channon, 33. Chay Blyth now still plugging away. 10th shot yet to score. And he's off the mark at last. Back to Tony Greig, still trying to break that last disc. His 15th shot now. No, he went a little high. So it's Colin Bell. 11th shot for Colin Bell. 2 discs broken.
Yes.
He's got it. That gives him 33 points so far. Tony Greig still can't get the last disc. 17th shot now. And he's got it. Well done.
64 for Tony Greig.
So Greig takes the lead, 64 points, 5 hits, that's 55, plus 9 for the 3 shots left.
Quiet, please. Quiet.
Chay Blyth. He's got his eye in now. 4 down, 4 shots to go. He needs this one to share the lead with Greig. And he's done it. So it's all now on Colin Bell. 2 discs left, 8 shots left. He's got to get them down in 4 to win. That middle one is already broken, by the way. He's chipped that.
Yes.
And he's got that one as well. So it's 1 disc left, 2 shots to break it to win.
Yes.
And that's the winner. All 5 kills and 6 shots to spare.
73 scored for Colin Bell.
Well done, Colin.
So Colin Bell is accurate with hand and eye as he is with his footballing feet. Yachtsman and cricketer share the points for 2nd and 3rd. And with that, Bell is right on John Conteh's heels. 1 point between them. Channon 3rd. Hemery, a lot of work to do in the £4,000 Superstar Championship. Well, for our next event in the Superstars competition, we've come down here into the pool, and there's 50 metres of water set out in front of the 6 competitors.
So in lane 2, lane 1 not being used, John H. Stracey from Bethnal Green, the European and British welterweight champion. All these boys having tasted the water once on 1 false start. Next to him, the very tall figure, 6 feet 7.5. Tony Greig, a native of South Africa, but one of our greatest all-round cricketers, now Surrey in England. A rather more portly figure of Chay Blyth, 13.5 stone at 5 feet 8. The paratrooper, super sailor. Off they go. Next to him is David Hemery in lane 5. John Conteh is in lane 6. And Mick Channon in lane 7. And they're churning down the pool at the moment. And the tall figure of Tony Greig is going well. Tony Greig at the moment from David Hemery. David Hemery making up a little bit. Chay Blyth in the middle. And John H. Stracey from Bethnal Green is closing on the taller figure of Tony Greig. David Hemery in 3rd place at the moment. And it's going to be Tony Greig, 6 feet 7.5. David Hemery chasing him hard. John H. Stracey going to be 2nd. Tony Greig gets there first. John H. Stracey 2nd. David Hemery 3rd. Chay Blyth is 4th. John Conteh still coming up the pool. And so too is Mick Channon with a big smile on his face, with his own unique style of gudgeon, coming in for 6th place.
Hey, Tony, that was some swim. Did you have them up your sleeve, did you? Expect to win the swim?
No, not really. I mean, as David said, you know, I didn't know anything about the other chaps, so I've done a bit of swimming. I was brought up in South Africa, so...
Yeah. How much swimming? Have you done any really competitive swimming?
Never.
Never at all?
No, I've done no preparation for any of this sort of stuff. It either happens or it doesn't, I reckon.
I know John H. Stracey, who was just beaten about a couple of inches, said you had a tremendous advantage. He reckons he'd have had about 5 or 6 inches start on you because he said you were there before you started.
Yeah, that's all right. He's got short, stubby arms. You can make him go round quicker.
OK, then well done, Tony. Tony Greig, the winner of the 50-metre swim.
Thank you very much.
And so the first victory among the superstars for the biggest man in the race. The smallest gets his best result so far, 7 points for John Stracey. And now look at the race at the top. Conteh only half a point over Greig, and the top 4 have all completed 3 out of their 8 chosen events. And if you're wondering what this is doing as the centrepiece of the next Superstars competition, let me tell you, it's just been christened Fred the Phantom Tweaker. It is, in fact, an automatic controlled bowling machine, as I say, the centrepiece of the next competition for the Superstars. They're now going to play cricket. Each Superstar will become a batsman. 6 balls will come from the bowling machine, controlled for pace and delivery up to the batsman. They have a standard field set, and they have to score as many runs as possible off 6 balls. The first ball, in fact, they cannot be out of. They have a little trial ball there. They can score runs off it, but they can't be out unless, of course, they're run out. Colin Bell, next man in. On comes the machine. Goodness. Takes a single, nearly took Tony Greig, the bowling machine, and me as well with it. Single for Colin Bell. This could be some sort of innings, I think.
A little bit straighter. A little bit straighter.
Oh, it's up, it's high. Is it going to be caught? No, just dropping short. Another single. tried a nice little sweep there to leg. I think he learnt that one off Channon. Ball 4. That's another big one, and it's a high one. Well placed. He's going for a second, is he? No, decided not to go. Almost went for a second. 5th ball. And he's caught. And he's caught. The standard of fielding and wicket keeping from these players here, from the club cricket conference teams, is pretty high. 1, 2, 3. So Colin Ball caught there off a big high skyer, and Colin Bell scores 3, caught out off the 5th ball. So it's Conteh with 6, Colin Bell with 3, and Colin Bell's great rival, Mike Channon, next at the crease. Mike Channon. Oh!
Like that.
Watch it this time, because you can be out off every other ball from now. This is the second one. Oh, nice shot.
Right. Without you saving the one.
Played before. 1 scored.
You come in on the offside. You just stay that side of it.
Just as well that Tony Greig's got this job. He's the only man who can see over the top of the bowling machine to see if it's in line. 3rd ball. Yes, 1 scored. Ball number 4. That's a better shot. Must go. Just in. Well judged. Remember, if, of course, his running partner is out, then the superstar is out. Oh, nice little cut. Going for a 2. Yes, he's going for a 2. And he's given out. He's given out. He's run out. It's a brave try for a 2. They threw, first of all, to the wrong end. He gets 1 run. He was run out. They'd crossed, of course, for the second, so he gets 1 run. But he's out off a run out on the 5th ball, so 3 scored, identical to Colin Bell. So Mike Channon goes out, and Chay Blyth, from all around the world, comes in.
Back a bit for the first one. Oh, that's all right, that's all right, that's all right.
Remember, Chay, you cannot be out off this ball unless you run out. Number 1. It's all right. Now he's had a sight of it. He's going for 1. And he's safely home. He's off the mark. 1 for Chay Blyth. Gone through. They can go for 1. Come on, Chay, this end. They all count. Oh, he's got 1 there. Yes, he must go, surely. Well run. Well run. Three now, level with Colin Bell and Mike Channon, and Chay Blyth is still there, and 2 more balls to receive.
In a bit, save the 1. Okay.
Ball 5. Oh, and he's out. First clean bowled victim for the Fred the Fiery Tweaker here. Chay Blyth bowled off the 5th ball with a score of 3, which is level with Colin Bell and Mike Channon. The last man to come in then, with John Conteh leading on 6. Colin Bell, Mike Channon and Chay Blyth all on 3, and the left-hander, John Stracey. And in fact, the umpire and referee Tony Greig has pointed out that all runs scored must come off the bat. So in fact, the bye that Chay Blyth had doesn't count. All runs scored must come off the bat. They run 1 with a bye, so it doesn't count. So Chay Blyth's score is 2 and not 3. 2 and not 3. So, John Stracey, all that you get off the back count. Didn't matter. Yes. Taking one.
If you could just stand on that side of the stumps. Yeah. Because basically you're bowling over the wicket. You shouldn't be able to feed it. Stand next to the stumps.
Third ball ready. He'll go for it. And he's there. Well done, John. 2 scored. On the scores so far, just 2 more runs will put John Stracey into second place. That's a good in, it's high. Oh, he's placed it well. Go for a second. And he's got them. 2 scored by John Stracey, total of 4. John H. now with 4 runs and 2 balls to go. He's lying second at the moment in the cricket competition, and he could beat John Conteh. That's a good one. Takes a single. Now, what a situation we've got. The last man in. He's got 5 on the board at the moment. He's got 1 ball to go. And the leader in the cricket, John Conteh, had 6 runs. So you need 2 to win John Stracey. Last ball. Oh, and he's bowled on the last one. Bowled off the very last ball. He had everything to go for. What a good try though by John Stracey. Total of 5 runs, just 1 behind the leader, John Conteh. And Conteh allows himself a wry smile. Stracey's final swing, destined to hit the ball out of the ground for victory or achieve the result that Conteh enjoyed. So it's 2 boxers, first and second in the cricket. 2 footballers, equal third, the yachtsman, he's almost becalmed. And a big change in the Superstars League. Stracey jumps to second place, and defending champion David Hemery has never been this far behind.
Well, we're in the gymnasium, or the muscle factory. And this is where we test our superstars on those qualities of speed, strength, stamina, muscular endurance, rather than the skill events. And they've got to put themselves against the clock, or put themselves against that enduring factor that makes them a superstar in every sense of the word. In here, we should do those agonizing squat thrusts for 1 minute, non-stop, just to see how many they can do. And we'll test their dynamic power, their explosive lifting power on a vertical jump board to see how high they can lift themselves over their body weight. But first, we start on the parallel bars and we examine their arm strength over body weight in terms of muscular endurance. David Hemery, a below par David Hemery, let's be fair about that, but come on, David. Two. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 25, 6, 7, 8, 29, 30, 1, 32. Remarkable scoring. Better than last year. A remarkable scoring there from David Hemery. John Conteh brings up the rear. John, with muscles to spare, can you put them to good use? 32 to beat. 30 in second place. 2, a little lower. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, down to it, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, down a bit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 35. John Conteh takes the parallel bar dips on a remarkable score of 35. What a competition that was. Our parallel bar dips produced 3 supermen. John Conteh finishing ahead with 35 dips to David Hemery's 32, Colin Bell's 30. Now we come on to leg power. The same leg power that makes that break for the outside half or the sprint for the wing or getting from the front of the court to the back of the court. How fast you can move, not as a sprinter, but in terms of channeling your energies in any one direction. That's we're going to measure on a vertical jump this time. And Mike, if you'd like to come out, you can start the ball rolling for us and we'll see from that what we do. We measure every superstar's standing stretched height. And I will stretch him up here and we can raise the board or lower it. When I've got his standing stretched height, he's going to turn to one side. Dip your fingers in the chalk, Mike. And in terms of inches, he's going to leap vertically and we're going to measure in inches just how high he can jump. 23.5 given so far. 24.5 given now. You've got one more. Just check the ball. Just check the ball. Okay, here we go. Okay, fine. 24.5 inches. 25 inches for Mike Channon. That's good jumping. Chay. 3 jumps for Chay Blyth. 25 is good going, Mike Channon. There's 19 inches, 1'7", 19. And a little higher, 20 inches, 1'8". 20 inches given. Well done, Chay. Now the big man. We're going to have to get this up higher than it's been. And Tony, let's have you hard on against the wall. And I owe you an apology. I said you played for Surrey, and I know it's Sussex. Everybody's been telling me the rest of the day. Okay, in with the chalk. I beg your pardon.
You want to clean it?
No, just a bit of. I think you'll go above. I'll be able to read it. Right in close, sure? Will do. I should stand next to the wall. That's it. Well done, Tony Greig. 25 inches. A lot of power in this man. .25 again. Splendid, a lot of effort. You're making it look dangerous. .26 inches. That's good. That is good. Well, he always said he wanted to be a basketball player. What a basketball player he'd make. Colin. Stand right in close, because you're not going to reach the board unless you do it. Right in close, that's it. Sideways. 24.5 inches, Colin Bell. And I fancy that you've got to stand a little bit closer, Colin. Imagine the high cross coming in. Oh, better, better, better. That's getting into the super athlete class. In fact, it's 28.5 inches. Colin Bell takes the lead. Who follows Colin? John, H, Stracey. They tell me Nuriev's pretty good at this, John. In we go. .18 inches. Not a lot of daylight under the feet that time, John. Let's lift it. Better, better, better. Ah. 20.5 inches. Almost on 21. Well done. 21 inches, John H. Stracey. To be followed by David Hemery. That's it. Fine. Some chalk. Well, we didn't do this last year, but David did excel at standing long jump. And sorry, one moment. Beg your pardon. And they are related. Oh, way up. "32 inches. 32 inches. And that's super class.
That's not.
Have another go.
Call it a day.
Yeah, 32. He's going to rest on that, and I'm not surprised. 32 inches to David Hemery. John, that's a tough one to follow. Chalk on. John Conteh, winner of the dips, now tries the vertical jump. Right in close. Bad luck. Bad luck. It's your right hook, John. Is it all right?
Check the board.
Is it okay? Is it okay? Come out the ball again. Right. That's a good one. 26.5 inches. 2 feet 2.5. 26.5 inches for John Conteh. But the undisputed champ of vertical jump, David Hemery. So in the vertical jump, the same three superstars came to the fore. David Hemery, 32 inches. Colin Bell, 28.5 inches. John Conteh, 26.5 inches. Try it yourself, just to see how tough that is.
And it's going to get even tougher before the gymnasium points are decided. Until then, let's change the scene a little. Well, for the next part of the competition, we've moved onto the towpath of the River Thames at Walton. Beautiful conditions, and this is the rowing event. Competitors in single skiffs over a distance of about 110 metres. It is Hemery, Bell and Blyth in the final.
Are you ready? Go!
Chay Blyth, Middlesex station, the far side. David Hemery in the centre, Colin Bell, the Surrey station, nearest us. Bell, the man who beat Hemery by a whisker in that first heat. Chay Blyth, the slowest of these three, now racing for the points. The first three coming from this, the 10 points and the 7 points, the vital ones, and Colin Bell dropped just a little. Colin Bell's about half a length down. It's going to be between Blyth and Hemery. Blyth and Hemery to settle this one. Just a few metres to go now. Bell's pulled back a little, but it's still Hemery in the middle, Blyth on the far side, coming to the finish. That's the bell, that's the bell. And it's Chay Blyth who's won just by a scratch. And Hemery says another 2,999 miles, and I'd have caught the man. Tremendous row by Chay Blyth there. So the yachtsman gets his first success, but almost robbed of it by Hemery, this amazing competitor. Bell, Greig and Channon are on the board, and 6 of the 10 events are gone. Conteh, with no ambition to get wet on the river, sees his lead cut back. Only 4 points now between the next 5. And from the Thames, back to the stadium. 5 attempts. Tony Greig versus Peter Shilton. Oh, well, we'll have the ceremony, yes. No hard feelings. Mick Channon to see that Shilton doesn't move. In your own time. Good one in the corner. And he put it exactly the same place. How you feeling, Peter? Oh, and in off. How about that, Colin?
Yes, that's great. I think he's nearly played Peter into the reserve side at Leicester, I think.
2 to go. 3 shots, 3 scored. Total of 5, 2 left for Tony Greig. And he's done it again. I think if Mick Channon wasn't down, though, Peter would be diving into that corner before he even moved. He's going to stand there. Can he make it a 100% record? And this time he put it high and he's got it in. 5 out of 5. My goodness, you could have got long odds against that. Tremendous work by Tony Greig, but not the same success for everybody. Chay, the oldest man in the competition, now to take his 4th attempt, and he's yet to score. And he's got it in the corner. But Shilton saved the next one, so Chay finished with a total of 1. David Hemery, the first of his 5 shots. High and into the corner, good shot. The next 2 was saved by Shilton. Here's Hemery's 4th attempt. And the top. Just scraping underneath the bar. 2 scored and 1 shot left. And saved on the line in the same position that you saved the other 2. Good performance there by Peter Shilton. Good performance by David Hemery. David Hemery scores 2. Chay Blyth has 1. And Tony Greig has a remarkable score of 5. And onto the spot comes John H. Stracey. And he got away with the first one. 2 saves and a miss. And here's John Stracey now with his last attempt. Oh, and he sent him the wrong way. Nicely deceived. Had him going over to the corner. Put it up the top. That's 2 then for John Stracey. So Greig still the leader with that remarkable 5. David Hemery and John Stracey with 2 apiece. Chay Blyth with 1. And the final penalty taker, John Conteh. This man who knows a little bit about football. If anybody was at St Kevin's Comprehensive School with him just a few years ago, they would probably have played with him. Kirby boys. Played with Phil Boersma. What can he do on the penalties? Here he goes. Oh, and he tried to put it over the top. Shilton saved the next. Conteh missed the 3rd. Here's number 4. Nicely. Sides footed into the right-hand corner. That's the scorer. And just 1 to score. This could be a vital one because a score here could bring you level with David Hemery and John Stracey and beat Chay Blyth. So a vital last shot for John Conteh. And he made it. And he made it on the last one. 2 scored for John Conteh, putting him level with John Stracey and David Hemery, but behind the winner, Tony Greig, who had that remarkable 5 out of 5. So big, tall Tony Greig, who claimed he'd never scored a penalty in his life until now, becomes a soccer star. A triple tie for 2nd place. And after the 7th event, the cricketer jumps from equal 4th to 2nd, Hemery 3rd, and Stracey, surely the big surprise, a very good 4th. On the track again for the next event in Superstars, and it's the 400-metre track here at the Crystal Palace, and it's going to become the cycle track because this is the 400-metre cycle time trial.
Set!
And away he goes around this 400-metre track of the Crystal Palace. This is the man who, as he's just said, bought a bike specially for this event, has been training over the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's in 1 fixed gear. They've got the option of using all the gears or fixing in 1, and he's stuck in the middle one, and he really is going well. The time in the top right-hand corner, he's going to have to be underneath the 40s for a good time, and he's really got that head down. Look at those legs that are pawing him round. This is good cycling. He's attacking the corners. This makes all the difference. You must dig in the corners, ride the corners, and he's riding them. This is a very good time indeed. He's going to be inside the 40s, and he is at 37.6. 37.6 for John Conteh, who sets the standard, and that is really going to make them go. The next man on the track now, Tony Greig. We join him on the back straight. Much higher gear, Tony Greig. Those big, long legs. 6'7" a lot to fit onto a bicycle, but he's done it. The saddle is right up to maximum. He's a bit wide on the corners. He's losing seconds there. 37.6 to beat. That's the target he's going for out of the saddle. Powers it down now. He's not going to make it. It's a good time, but he's just outside, 39.6, 2 seconds outside John Conteh. And this, the man, David Hemery.
Set.
Hemery, the man who really had the crowd roaring last year in this, the bike race, when he went through 2 gear changes, missed the second completely and ended up in an unbelievably low gear, is this year in a fixed gear, and it looks a little low again to me. The legs can really go, but look at that gear. Surely if he was up another cog, he could get a little bit more power, a little more speed. And again, he has to coast. This is the danger. This is the gamble they take. And the clock, in fact, is wrong. Everything happens to Hemery on a bike race. The clock has gone wrong. Ignore the time. It's up around the 35, 36 second mark now. Coming down to the back straight. 37.6 he has to beat. Has he made it? Checking on the clocks. And it's 38.3. He's outside Conteh. 38.3. So he hasn't beaten Conteh, but what a good ride. Conteh again with 10 points. His 3rd victory in the 6 events so far. Important 2nd place that for Hemery, because with that, the reigning superstar hits his highest place overall so far. He's 2nd now to boxing's world champion, ahead of Greig, and now all back into the gym.
Now we've got the painful squat thrust. 60 seconds of non-stop activity where they drive themselves against that grey cloud that tells them they're tired, which they have to do in all their games. Squat thrust for 60 seconds. Gentlemen, are you ready? No. Front support position. Your counters are all ready. Remember, it's how many times your knees go beyond or up to your elbows in 1 minute. That is the score that you'll be given. Feet back to start, everybody. Hold yourself. Feet back, John. Ready? Go! Ten seconds gone. Drive it hard and fast. Keep it going. 20 seconds gone, Chay. Keep going, Mike. Grit your teeth, Johnny. You're halfway there, Tony, halfway there. Keep it going, Colin. Now, come on, start driving. Now, you're in the grey area. Come on, you've 20 seconds to go. Push your score dramatically now. 15 seconds to go. You've only 10 seconds to go to drive a good score. Come on, drive hard. 5 seconds to go. Drive, 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 quickly. Stop! Rest. Sit down. John Conteh, 81. That surely is the highest score ever recorded in 60 seconds of squat thrust. It's certainly the highest I know of. And John Conteh goes into the lead in a remarkable series. 81. If anybody betters that, I'd like to hear about it. David Hemery in 2nd, Colin Bell in 3rd. The 3 supermen.
And without any doubt, supermen glad to see the agony of the gymnasium behind them. 3 tests, Conteh and Hemery, superstar and super challenger, can't be separated. The result's quite incredible. So 1 event now to decide it all. Conteh, he can't be caught, but 2nd, 3rd and 4th places are still wide open with £5,000 to be won and lost. And so John Conteh stands on the start line with the other superstars for the final event of this year's competition. And by tradition, of course, it is the steeplechase, the one that calls for the stamina, the guts, the courage and all the drive. And lined up for the steeplechase over 600 metres, Conteh and Stracey, the 2 boxers, Colin Bell and Mike Channon, the 2 footballers, with them the big tall figure of Tony Greig, the cricketer. They've got 600 metres of the Crystal Palace track to do. They had to take the water jump twice and they have 5 hurdles in all. There is one man missing from that lineup who is also in this competition. He's way down the track. He's behind the other hurdle. He comes way down the track, another 100 metres behind, until you find him down here in the start position where he has to start on his handicap, David Hemery. Now, David, of course, you've got this handicap because hurdling and steeplechasing really is all your sport. 100 metres, an extra hurdle. You stood in this position a year ago and said it was impossible, and you beat them by a streak. What about this year?
I still say it's impossible to beat them. I think that the athleticism shown right throughout the contest has been incredibly high, and I'll be very lucky to catch even half of the distance this year, but I'm going to have a go.
John Conteh going well. Colin Bell going even better. The Iron Man from Manchester City, the man who can run 9 or 10 miles of cross-country running. His condition training beginning to show. Mike Channon beginning to feel it, and there's a large gap opened up now. Colin Bell's going to make certain of this one. One water jump to go. And they're the tail enders. They're being caught by David Hemery, but he won't catch these three. John Conteh in a little bit of trouble over the last water jump. Colin Bell away and clear. There's Colin. He's going to take it by about 20 yards. John Conteh holding on to second. Mike Channon on to third. David Hemery can't catch these three. And that's a splendid run from Colin Bell, soccer's Iron Man, the recognised athlete anywhere on a soccer field. John Conteh happy to be in second. Mike Channon being chased by David Hemery, just out of picture. David Hemery, a final lunge from the tape, but it's not enough. Mike Shannon's third. David Hemery is fourth. John H. Stracey comes up. So too does the tall man, and waiting there to greet them and to congratulate them for their efforts. It's Colin Bell. A magnificent effort, that. And I'm certain that it'll be David Hemery that want to congratulate him first. There's the last man across the line.
So it's Colin Bell who takes the final event, where it all began out on the track. Conteh and Channon finish ahead of Hemery. And Liverpool's boxing idol has done what he said he would do. Beat them all, no matter where they come from or what they do. And just look at the way he did it. 16 points clear over David Hemery. Colin Bell, the footballer, just squeezed out into third. Cricketer Tony Greig in the money with fourth place. Boxing champion of the world, now the sporting superstar. And a future and fortune ahead that even John Conteh might for once have to stop and think about.